Hey, I'm your host, Jen Wheeler, and this is the Healthy Her podcast. I'm a teacher, author, and foodie who went from being addicted to sugar, skipping meals, and struggling to get in control of my eating to someone who is 10 kilos down, eats all the yummy foods without restriction, and is finally in control of my hunger. I'm obsessed with helping other health conscious women ditch the confusion and overwhelm so they can cultivate healthy eating habits and truly thrive. The Healthy Her podcast was created to give you real talk about healthy eating, as well as easy, actionable tips that fit seamlessly into your busy lifestyle. I'm not just your host. Think of me as your healthy eating hype gal, your personal cheerleader as we chat all things healthy eating, weight loss, and mindset mastery so you can become the healthiest, happiest version of you. So if you're ready to ditch the guilt, reclaim your confidence, and unlock the very best version of you, then you're in the right place. So let's get started. Welcome to our very first episode of the Healthy Her podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you my personal Healthy Her journey. And my reason for sharing my personal story with you is in the hope that it motivates you, it inspires you, and it just reminds you that achieving your healthy eating and weight loss goals doesn't have to be as hard as we make it out to be. And also that many of the issues that you may be experiencing around food or eating, that so many other women experience similar issues that you may be experiencing yourself. So I hope by sharing my journey that you feel a little bit less alone and you know that reaching your goals is truly possible. So I'm going to take you right back to the beginning and where my Healthy Her journey started. So as many women can relate to this, I had just had a baby and I was just more and more not feeling like myself. I didn't particularly like what I saw in the mirror. I had really poor eating habits. I would wake up in the morning, I would have a bowl of sugary cereal, I would have a glass of orange juice. I couldn't go long between meals without feeling very hungry. I just didn't like my skin. Like I just was really feeling quite disconnected to myself and just like I didn't feel like myself. And I knew that something needed to change. So, as most women do, I went, okay, well, I'll join a program or I'll start something new about exercise. I didn't really have any understanding or knowledge around nutrition and food. So I kind of went, well, to shift some of this baby weight, I will just do an exercise program or an exercise plan. So that's kind of where I decided to start first. And in hindsight now, I just understand now that nutrition is what I should have looked at first. But, when you're just trying to make a change, you're usually looking for something that's quick and that is going to get you the results that you want. So what I did was I started doing lots of Googling. Lots of looking on socials, lots of trying to find a program that would maybe suit me. I was on maternity leave from work at the time. I had a baby at home. And I eventually stumbled across a program by Kayla Itsinas. And at the time, it was called, of all things, the Bikini Body Guide. Getting into a bikini was not my goal for this program, but it just spoke to me because the workouts were at home. They were only short workouts, and I could actually do them at home with a baby and also do them while my baby slept. I sat there for ages and I opened this website and I looked at it and I closed it out. And then a day later, I went back in and I opened it again. And, all of those feelings of fear came back in. I'm like, well, what if I can't do this? And what if I can't make this work? And so I sat on the fence for probably, I reckon, a good month, maybe even like 6 weeks before I just decided, no, I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to purchase this program and I'm going to give this thing a go. So when I first started the program, it was 28-minute workouts at home. So I did them at home while my baby slept. Bought some basic equipment just from Kmart, like I needed some dumbbells and a mat. I didn't have any fancy equipment at home. I just used those couple of things and did my workouts each day. And the big thing too I found was with the program, it also came with like a rough sort of eating plan and a bit of a guide. And I remember looking at one of I think it was a lunch, and it was a chicken and salad wrap. And I remember looking at that wrap and thinking, wow, because there's a photo of it, obviously. And I thought, that looks like a lot of food. Like, if I eat that much food for my lunch, am I going to put on weight? Like, aren't I supposed to be eating less? And in hindsight now, obviously, because I've learned so much about food and nutrition, it's not always about eating less. And when I started to follow some of the recipes in the guide, I was starting to feel fuller and I was starting to feel less hungry. And I was starting to notice some of those changes in my body just from doing a few workouts a week and just from making an effort to feel better. So I followed that program at home for quite a while and I actually really enjoyed it. Like, I found it easy enough to do. So I found myself just repeating the program over and over again. I still knew nothing about food. I was still fairly addicted to sugar, obviously, still trying to do the usual things that we do as women. I was trying to eat less, still sort of skip some meals. But I was finding that just from moving my body during the day and getting some exercise in, that the results were starting to come and that I was just also starting to feel a little bit better about myself. But from that point, because I'd been doing everything from home and my child was growing up a little bit more, I felt like I was ready for a little bit more. I kind of knew that I wanted to get into the gym and things like that, but going to a gym, all of those imposter syndrome thoughts and all of that self-doubt comes in. It's like, well, I'm a mum. Like, I'm not a gym girl. Like, who am I to go and sign up at a gym? And what if I sign up and people are going to look at me, or, like, people are going to laugh at me because I don't know how to use the equipment and things. And same thing again. I sat on this for ages and ages and ages. And I even had a gym like not far from me around the corner that I literally had to drive past every single day. And I still put off going to the gym. I eventually decided one day just to bite the bullet and just to sign up for that gym membership. I remember feeling so nervous. And I remember thinking, like, well, what do I do first? Like, what am I going to do on my first day? And I decided to start by just doing classes. So I started out doing things like body pump and body attack. And I would hide at the back of the class so no one saw me. I felt so uncoordinated. I didn't know what I was doing. But this funny thing started to happen. Like, the more I did it, the more confident I felt. And the more I could keep up with the choreography of the classes, and I felt less puffed out. And I started to feel like I actually belonged in the gym. So then from the gym classes, I decided that I wanted to move out onto the floor. So I signed up for another online program, and that was basically just workouts that you could follow at the gym. So I would just print them out and take them with me, and I would just do them on the gym floor. And I just slowly educated myself and taught myself how to use the different equipment. And I started following people on social media that would give me sort of information and tips about my form at the gym and what I was doing and things like that, so that I could continually improve and grow and, just upskill myself. So I knew how to use the gym and I knew how to use the weights and the equipment properly. And then from this gym program that I signed up, I started hearing about, like, people talking about macros and macronutrients and eating enough protein and tracking their food and all of those kind of things. And I didn't understand it. I did not. I was clueless. My understanding as a female of eating protein was that, that's what bodybuilders eat for their competitions. And that was a big aha moment for me that I had on this journey, that I realized that there is so much information that is not taught to women about food and healthy eating and exercise. Well, it's not taught to them in a way that they can actually understand. Because what happened to me was I decided to start tracking some of my food and I started to increase my protein. And some pretty incredible things have happened. Like I said, for me, I was on this journey and I was really just focusing on the exercise because in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I want to lose weight, so I'm just going to get in there and burn those calories. And it wasn't until I got into it a bit further that I realized that my food is a massive part of it. And tracking my food and understanding macros and things like that was a huge aha moment for me. I started eating protein with my three main meals. And like I said, my understanding was with protein was protein smoothies and protein shakes. And you only have that if you're a man and if you want to build lots of muscles. And, I was a female. I didn't want to do that. But what I realized is that when I started eating protein, and I mean a decent amount of protein with my three main meals, I stopped feeling hungry between meals. Would say no to the biscuits that were on the table at work because I just wasn't hungry. Like you could put them in front of me and I'm like, no, I'm good. I'll have one of those later because I just wasn't hungry. And this is the stuff that I realized on my journey that women are not being told. Women are not being educated about food and healthy eating and weight loss in a way that actually means something to them. So, this is one of my whys for starting my business, the Active Bod, and my Real Nourish prep mixes, and my membership, the Healthy Eating Hype Gal membership, because women are not being educated about this stuff in a way that means something to them. If back then someone had said to me, "Hey, Jen, I need you to eat protein because it's going to do this, and this for you," I would have responded completely differently. But like I said, because we get so bombarded by misinformation in the media about different things, that as women, we spend so much of our time feeling confused and overwhelmed and jumping from thing to thing, trying to hope that it will work. When in reality, we just need to understand our food, understand our nutrition, and stick to the basics. Are you tired of the endless struggle to eat healthy and nail your meal prep routine? Introducing the Real Nourish Do It Yourself Meal Prep Mixes, the ultimate solution for busy women like you. When I went on my own personal health journey, I discovered the many benefits of meal prep, and after much searching, I just couldn't find a meal prep mix that was designed especially for women. So I literally decided to create my own. Trust me, as a busy working mum, meal prep has changed my life. Our mixes are packed with protein to keep you energized and feeling full. Our mixes can be whipped up in under 10 minutes, perfect for your on-the-go lifestyle. Using our award-winning pancake tray bake mix means you can say goodbye to standing over a hot stove, flipping pancakes. Simply add water, toss in your favorite fruits, and bake. If you're ready to revolutionize your meal prep game, you can find my mixes at theactivebod.com or follow us on Instagram at realnourish_. And as a special thank you to our Healthy Her community, we have a discount code. So just enter the code, the Healthy Her, at the checkout. So I did get a lot from tracking of the food and learning about protein and all of those kind of things. And the other big thing that I started to change was that I started to really discover the benefits of meal prepping my food. Now, that is another one that I believe as women that we sort of get told the wrong information about, because when you look into social media, there's all these beautiful images of meal prep, and someone's meal prep their meals for the next 7 days, and they've got, piles high of Tupperware containers with beautiful food in them. And, that's not the reality for most people. And so I started to get into the routine and into the habit of every Sunday allocating some time to do my meal prep. So I would share my meal prep every Sunday, and I would also post these up on my social media. Now, I started a social media account to stay accountable. So I started to connect with other women that were on different weight loss journeys or that had done like the Kayla at Zenas program, just to help keep me accountable. So I really, really found the benefits of meal prepping. And again, as a women, we're told, bodybuilders and, super fit and super healthy people, they meal prep their food. No, busy women and busy working mums meal prep their food. And that's what I found. Meal prep changed the game for me. Like, it was a complete game changer. I would meal prep my lunches. I'd take them to work. I would meal prep my breakfast. And in the morning when I'm juggling, getting ready and kids and doing all these things and stuff, I knew that in the fridge, I had a healthy, high protein breakfast that was ready and waiting for me to eat. So, learning about my food and about my healthy habits and about the importance of meal prep and all of these things was a journey. It was a process. And I think that's something that's really important to remember, is especially when you're scrolling on social media and you're looking through people's pages and thinking, wow, she looks like she's got it all together. She works, she's got kids, she goes to the gym. It takes time. It takes a process. And it took me so many mistakes to get to this point. But I definitely feel like there are ways that I could have taken lots of shortcuts if I had just spent the time educating myself about the food that I was eating, instead of just trying to exercise the weight off or trying to reach my results by just, skipping meals or cutting carbs or doing keto. there was a real simple way to actually get the results that I wanted. I have lost 10 kilos and been able to maintain my weight loss. Like I said, it was a massive, massive learning journey. I went from working out at home to working at a gym, to learning how to plan my meals and also plan my meals for my family so that I could eat the same things that they ate. There were so many parts of this process and, so many failures along the way. So one of my goals with the Healthy Her podcast is to share all of it with you to help you save time so you're not wasting time, so you're not feeling like a failure all the time, giving you all of my tools, my tips, my tricks, like educating you about food in a way that you understand and in a way that actually means something to you, something that's going to mean something to you with your busy lifestyle as a working woman. It's not realistic to say to, a busy woman, hey, I need you to go to the gym 7 days a week. I need you to do all these steps. I need you to meal prep your food every day. It's just not practical and it's not going to happen. So I want to share with you all of my shortcuts, all of my hacks, so I can make this process for you super easy, super understandable, and so you can have all of the massive aha moments when I explain it to you in a way that makes sense to you. Today's episode, we really have only just scratched the surface. But I wanted to share my story with you so that you understand that I'm just like you. I felt confused. I felt overwhelmed. I felt like a failure every time, I ate something that wasn't so healthy. And then I started a diet every Monday and I just couldn't find a good rhythm with food and with eating. And I just couldn't figure out why it all felt so hard and why, as a woman, I just couldn't master it. And I just want to let you know that you are not alone, that we are in this together. And in all of the next episodes, this isn't just going to be another episode that you set and forget. It's going to give you real practical advice that you can apply to your everyday, that is going to make sense to you. You're going to have all of the aha moments, and I'm really, really excited to be on this journey with you. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and a little sneak peek into my healthy her journey. Like I said, we have literally just scratched the surface and I have so much more to share with you. So don't forget to subscribe and tune in to our next episode. And I cannot wait to finally give you all of those aha moments that you have so been wanting around healthy eating and weight loss. Thank you so much for tuning in to another empowering episode of the Healthy Her podcast. If you enjoyed today's chat and found it helpful, hitting that follow or subscribe button would be amazing because your support means the world to me. Come connect with me on Instagram @theactivebod for your daily dose of inspiration and for loads of new easy meal ideas. Take care and keep thriving. See you next week.